What's up guys, it's Joe Troyer. The weather finally broke, so I get to finally introduce you guys to my new car. And today I gotta go run a quick errand, and then when we get to my computer, I wanna talk to you guys about my takeaways from building literally a 7-figure agency in just 4 months. So I'm gonna talk about the things I wish I would have done differently, my big learning curves, and what has to change now as we scale even further. So it's gonna be a great video, and let's get into it real quick. All right, so this is the Corvette C7 Z06. Let's go ahead and jump in. Here we are at the Starbucks coffee. So I know what you guys are thinking, Joe. I thought you guys worked at an office, and I do. I just really need some coffee. So I'll be right back. All right, for those of you guys that want it, here's a little bit of a better look at the Z06 in front of the office here. She is a bad mamma jamma. All right, so let's do this. Off to the office, Web 1 headquarters. I'll see you guys at my computer. What's up guys, it's Joe Troyer and I'm back at my computer. So today's video guys, I want to call lessons learned from building a 7-figure agency in 4 months. So what I want to do is kind of let you guys peek behind the curtain. I want to talk to you guys about where I've been, both personal and business-wise, what's happened, because it has been a whirlwind. I haven't been posting videos a lot. I haven't been posting a lot of content on the blog either. And so I want to give you guys kind of an update as to why that is the case. But then I want to talk about takeaways. I want to talk about takeaways from building a 7-figure business and my big aha moments. And I want to talk to you guys about things where I messed up, right? Ways that I could have done this a lot better from the get-go. So I'm hoping that you guys will be able to take away something from the video and actually obviously get something out of this. Otherwise I wouldn't even be doing it. So first off. So I don't have some fancy presentation, guys. I made some notes. I spent about, I don't know, 45 minutes or so last night jotting down some notes for today's video. And this isn't going to be some polished presentation. So why start the video in the car? So for those of you guys that don't know, I have wanted a Corvette C7 Z06 for quite some time. Ever since the C7 Z06s came out. And I set a goal for myself. Obviously, I hit that goal, made it a reality. We built this new 7-figure business in 4 months, right? And so I think it's important that I show you guys that I hit my goal too, right? You guys help push me. You guys help hold myself accountable. And I want you guys to know what's possible. Right, I want you guys to know what's possible, and I want you guys to push your goals. So why did I start the video in the car? Well, first off, some people knew that I got the car. A bunch of other people didn't know. I wanted you guys, obviously, like I said, to take away, I hit my goal. Well, goals, you can too. And guys, the other reason is I'm just a car junkie, right? I love cars, right? And so for those of you guys that love cars, okay, I hope you guys will like this video. I hope you guys could hear the exhaust in that video. I hope it actually came through. The other reason, third reason, I guess, is that some of my best viewed videos and best viewed content is in my car. And it's not in my new Z06, obviously. This is the first video you guys have seen with me inside the C7 Corvette Z06, but actually inside of my Mercedes CLS 550, and I still do have it. Probably going to be getting rid of it and getting something else as a daily driver. The Corvette is amazing to drive. I absolutely love it, but it's Florida, and it rains a lot here, and the wheels or the tires on the car are essentially drag radials. So when it rains, you don't drive it. I've seen a lot of accidents, seen a lot of videos, heard a lot of horror stories of people literally just driving down the road 20, 30 miles an hour, and it being wet and them just sliding off the road and crashing the car. So that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. All right, so I think, what was it? We did a video about how to rank inside of Google Maps. That's went on to be one of our best videos ever, and that was obviously shot inside of my car. So I thought it would be cool to do another one. So let's go ahead and add another slide here, and let's start getting into the content, the meat and the bones, if you will. So I guess we're not quite ready for the meat and the bones. So where have I been? So real quick, I'm just going to drop some stuff on this screen. So personal, my wife and I renovated a house this year. And folks, I had a lot of people ask me, Joe, are you still married after you renovated the house? Like shortly after I started. And I'm like, what are you talking about? But by the end, I knew. Right? Renovating a house is no freaking joke. Would I do it all over again? Yes, I would. But I wish I would have known how big of a commitment it truly was, right? That is an absolutely insane ordeal. The time, the resources, the energy, the plans not coming together like you thought they were going to, it's a nightmare. Over budget, over time, it's messy to say the least. So we renovated a house. We added on, I want to say about 900 square feet total. Made a new living room, 12-foot ceilings, big addition, obviously. Repainted everything, put in a bunch of pavers in the back and a new pool, and regrassed everything and sodded, and new master bath. So at some point, maybe I'll have to do a little video. If you guys want, comment down below. Let me know that you guys want me to do a little tour of the house, and I'm sure that that could be arranged. So then, after we renovated the house, we moved into the house. And, folks, you guys know moving is a freaking nightmare. Luckily, we didn't have that far to go, but still uprooting the kids. And we have 2 dogs. It just a nightmare, right? So then on top of it, the old place that we used to live at, we didn't sell. And the reason we haven't sold it is because we have a bunch of equity in it. We bought right place, right time. I've paid down a bunch of money on it. And the loan is super freaking cheap. I could never, ever get another loan for anywhere near those rates. We've been putting that house or renting out that house on Airbnb. With short-term rentals. And so we've been doing that for, I think, 4 months now. And last month was our biggest month ever, kind of slow. And then that thing just kind of took off. So this is all just personal stuff, right? And that's a lot. Throw in there, probably since we last chatted, 3 family vacations. Since I last did a video on the YouTube channel or on the Digital Triggers blog. So then, business-wise has been nuts. Obviously, the title of this video, build a 7-figure agency in 4 months. So essentially, guys, that really took off between March and June. So March, April, May, June, 4 months. And June we did, I think it was 86,000 we did in June. And we beat May by, I think, about 18,000. So we're about to hit 100,000 a month there. So we did that, obviously. And we actually started... we actually didn't start another business. We bought another business. And this business, folks, is something that I'm sure that you guys would never expect from me. But it is a local brick and mortar service-based business. So, with that being said, obviously 7-figure agency and then the local brick and mortar service-based business, we have had our hands full in addition to, our current responsibilities, our current software, our current training programs and platforms. So it is, it's been nuts. So I want to talk to you guys now that I've brought you guys up to speed about my takeaways. And again, guys, these are not going to be in any particular order, but I'm going to do my best to talk to you guys about my takeaways. As I sat down last night and really thought about everything, I want to talk to you guys about my biggest takeaways. So I think the first thing, folks, is synergy. I did not spell that right. S-Y-N-E-R-G-Y. There we go. So without synergy, none of this would be possible. So an example here is the local service-based business that we bought. We bought a business that already had a foundation, right? They already had systems and processes in it. It came with a manager that runs that business, and that manager was actually the owner, and that owner just got stuck. Right? He couldn't get past X amount in revenue. Okay, month after month after month after month. And for him, it was time for a change. And it was either try something drastic, which he had been trying to do a lot of things, or sell. And so we bought the business, but we kept him on board to run the day-to-day operations. And the synergy here is that, folks, we can take the same processes, our same marketing processes that we share with you guys and that we apply for our 7-figure agency that we've built in the last 4 months, right? And we do literally the same fulfillment processes. We do the same marketing strategies, right? Right? Whether it's AdWords or Google Organic or Google Maps or PPC or whatever it is, folks, right? Those services we have nailed down, and we have nailed them down good, right? We have a whole fulfillment team to do those strategies day in and day out, and just our fulfillment team is over 20 people. So there would be no way, folks, that I would be able to take on that local brick and mortar business and buy that business without synergy. In fact, there's no way that I would even be able to build the 7-figure agency that we just bought without synergy. So let's back up for a second. Let's say that I didn't buy that local service business, and I didn't buy as well, or I didn't build as well, I'm sorry, the 7-figure agency in the last 4 months. If I was doing a bunch of random shit, right? I was doing e-com over here and driving traffic one way, and then I had this other business over here just working with JVs, and I had another business over here, and they all operated differently, and all the fulfillment and all the marketing was different. This would not be possible, and I would have damn lost my mind. Okay, so guys, understand that you have to have synergy. And when you have synergy, you start to then build leverage. So our fulfillment team, folks, I can throw them anything that falls in the process of what we do. And what we do keeps getting bigger and bigger, right? But that happens over time. Okay, one of the big things that I will tell you guys is you need to start small. You need to get your team to do something and do it really well and do it over and over and over and over and over. Right? And then once they're really damn good at that, there isn't a whole lot of innovation left. Then you can move forward. And add in another service, right? But don't do that from the beginning. You will absolutely kill your team, okay? You will absolutely kill your team. So next up, yep. I'm dropping it. Folks, building a new business is fucking exhausting. It is exhausting. It is absolutely exhausting. Folks, I can't imagine if we didn't have the synergy that we have, we didn't have the leverage that we have, this wouldn't be possible. Seriously, this would not be possible. I would have axed myself months ago, right? It's still exhausting. It's a lot of freaking work. Make sure that you have that synergy and that leverage and that you're building upon it, okay? Make sure that you are doing that. One of the ways that you guys, let's say that you guys are starting from scratch, one of the ways that you guys can build leverage and you guys can build some synergy and you guys can really start to get your services and your fulfillment team humming is by niching down, right? So if you have a marketing agency, I don't care what you sell, just niche down, right? Niche down. And I want to talk to you guys about why. So let's just do another slide here. So let's say niche down. So let's say, for example, that you're doing SEO. So every time that you take on a new client, every single time that you take on a new client, well, let's just talk, actually, let's zoom out even further. Every time you want to bring on a new client, you have to learn the lingo, right? So the sales process. So whenever you take on a new client, you have to learn the sales process. And I can't freaking type this morning, right? You're going to have to learn the lingo. What is that customer's or that prospect's, that niche's biggest fears? Right? Who are their best customers? What's their average customer value? What's that look like? What are their most profitable services or types of jobs? What are their fears, their desires, their pains? Another one that I see way too many people in this space not really even looking at is how fast is growth, or how fast can that business grow? How fast of a pace can they grow at and sustain it? What's possible? What does it actually take, to dive a little deeper, for them to scale up? You need to know that, and that needs to be a part of your sales process and how you structure your sales process and how you structure what you're going to do. Because if your product in month 3 or month 4 or month 6 or whatever it is, all of a sudden takes off like a rocket, they need to be prepared for that. Right? It's like, okay, ranking increase, and then all of a sudden they hit the freaking first page and they're in the top 3. Obviously their phone's going to be ringing off the hook. What's it like, and what's it going to take for them to grow? Right? You need to know those things. Okay, so you have the sales process, but then you also have fulfillment. So with fulfillment, for SEO, you're going to have a site audit, right? You're going to have keyword research. You're going to have a competitor audit, right? You're going to have a whole lot of stuff that falls down the fulfillment, right? Where do you get links? Right? What's your game plan? Right? And that game plan could be for 90 days, for 120 days, for 6 months, right? What's that scope of work look like that you're building out for the customer? Folks, understand that probably literally half of the work that you do, if you're an SEO in this example, you provide SEO services, literally probably about 50% of your work could be axed, could be cut out if you just niched down and focused on one vertical, right? The keyword research would be the same. You'd never have to relearn the sales process. It's the same. Their fears, desires don't change. Right? Their average customer and what it takes for them to scale doesn't change. What their best customers are don't change. What the most profitable services are don't change. Right? The competitor audit's going to change a little bit because you're not going to work with 10 of those niches in the same city. Right? It's going to change from niche to niche a little bit, or from city to city or geo to geo a little bit. But even like this game plan is probably going to be an 80% templated. Right? And it's just throwing in a variation of 10 to 20% after you do the competitor audit. Right? The keyword research is already freaking done. All you got to do is change out the cities. Does that make sense? I see way too many people working way too hard for what they're doing. If you guys are in a rut right now, you have revenue coming in and your customers are all over the map, and you find yourself not being able to keep up with fulfillment, I don't give a shit what you do besides niche down right now. Change it right freaking now. Okay? Don't take on any more niches. Okay? And just see what happens. Okay? This is why smart people niche down their businesses. That doesn't mean, for all you ADD people out there like me, that they don't ever move on and go pick another niche. They do, right? But they make hay while the sun is still shining, right? My grandpa was a father, and he used to say that, right? All the time to me, right? So go after the niche, hit it hard, scale. And when you feel like the end is coming near, if you want, right? You have the business bandwidth, right? You have the time, the effort, the resources, and you have the money, and you want to go after another one, go for it. So there's a bunch of good examples of this. So HVAC SEO, for example, this fellow right here. These guys own like the HVAC and plumbing niche for all types of marketing related services and HVAC SEO marketing. So you see this video has 900 views. Right. So great little channel here. And I don't think that this is their main site anymore for some reason. But then you have other examples of niching down that I can give you guys. One that comes to my head right off the bat that's a little different, and I bring it up because it's a little bit different, is Marketing 360. So Marketing 360 is a marketing platform for small businesses. And so if you really look at their services, here we go. If you really look at their services here on the left-hand side, it seems like they start everything with like a website. And guys, they just have a bunch of website templates, and then basically they edit them for their customers. I mean, it's not like they're reinventing the wheel every time. Then I think these natural listing ads, I think this is like their GMB, their Google My Business optimization. Top placement ads, I think that this is like AdWords. Retargeting ads is simple, explanatory. Social targeting ads, I think, is just like Facebook ads, etc. On-demand services is them paying for consulting. Email marketing, SMS marketing, etc. Right? So they do what most of you guys do. They just have a platform to kind of aid and help with it. But then what happens is they've obviously niched down as well. So if you do garage door repair marketing or garage door marketing, right? Garage door marketing 360, right? Where'd it go? Garage door marketing 360. So, and they have a ton of these. I'm not sure if we can find like a list. Okay, so beauty salon marketing, child care marketing, HVAC marketing, chiropractic marketing, accounting marketing, landscaper marketing, right? I mean, like literally just goes and goes and goes. Local business marketing, home healthcare marketing, pool marketing, flooring contractor marketing, right? Medical, roofer, and it just keeps going and going and going. So what they've done is they've built a platform, they've built out their core services, and they model or they build out all their processes and procedures for all the core services. And then they go and apply it to HVAC. And once they got it kind of ironed out, if I were them, I would be building some case studies around HVAC, right? Then they are going to the next market, to the next market, and to the next market. But understand, folks, that they're not the norm, right? I'm sure that they have a huge marketing budget. They have a huge fulfillment team, right? They have money to throw at their problems so that they can scale quickly. If I were you, I wouldn't do that. Okay, it gets messy. Trust me. I've done that, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, but it gets messy, right? And you have a lot of growing pains. Okay, so again, if I were you, I would run after one niche and run after it exclusively, run after it hard. And when you see that the end is near, right, you're looking at the lighthouse view, and that's your goal as the entrepreneur in the business, the visionary, to be able to look out and forecast like, hey, in the next year, things are going to start changing in this market. Or in the next year, we're going to be working with, 200 of the top franchisees in the market, right? After that, we're kind of capped out. We're kind of saturated. It's time to pick another niche. That's fine, okay? All right. So takeaways, niche down. I'm going to give you guys a couple of more. Here. Next up is lead by example. So guys, I would have never have been able to build a 7-figure team or a 7-figure business in 4 months without a team. Okay, it just wouldn't have been possible in the current capacity. Okay, if I was doing my consulting or something, maybe, but folks, I want something that I can build up and I can sell when I want to sell. If I want to exit, I can. So when you have a team, you have to lead by example. If you find your team always coming in late in the morning, right? Ask yourself, when are you getting to the office in the morning, or when are you signing on in the morning? So I do my damnedest to lead by example. I'm not saying that I don't ever mess up. I can tell you guys that that one of the places I've been working on a lot lately is leading by example with actually being here in the morning and being the first one to be here in the morning. And probably for about the last month, I've been the first person here probably every day except for one day. Okay, I like my sleep. Usually, you know, I'd wake up after the kids woke up or after they're getting up. I'd sit around with them, hang out with them, and then I would come into the office after, you know, my wife took the kid, you know, our oldest Silas to school. Okay, but for the last month, I've been here every single day and I've been the first one here. Okay, so I'm leading by example. Now, everybody knows Joe's going to be at the office. I can't be late, or he's going to know it, right? I can't be 10 minutes late. I can't be 15 minutes late. So that's just an example of that. At one of our events, it kind of disgusted me. I see examples of this stuff all the time that are very flagrant, right? You bring on an employee and you tell them, here, go do this job, but you don't even know if their numbers are possible. You don't help them. You don't keep them accountable, right? And it's just like, yeah, this is my employee. He's just going to handle this. Right? What kind of position does that put your team member in? So by all means, hold them accountable, put their feet to the fire, right? But I think you have to lead by example. If you're going into a new business, you're the one that has to start figuring things out, right? And then you have to build a benchmark. So you figure it out. Build the benchmark. Then you outsource it, right? Then you give it to one of your team members. Okay, so for example, sales. How do I get my foot in the door, right? What's the sales process look like? If you're using cold emails, right? What's the cold email template that's worked the best for you? You do a little testing. You say, this is the system that we're using. Here's what you need to know about the system, right? What's the pitch that's going to work? What's the agreement that's going to work? What are the answers that you've used for the top rebuttals? And last but not least, what do those numbers look like from start to finish, right? Benchmark it. Where are your numbers? So when you have somebody else on your team start running it, you have some point of reference. This is good, this is bad, or this is what I did. At least have this is what I did. If you don't have this is what I did, you're going to find yourself in a world of hurt. I can promise you that. May not be right away. You may get extremely lucky. I fucking doubt it. But you may get extremely lucky, hire a rock star, they crush it. But what happens when they leave? Now you're starting back at zero. Okay, starting back at zero and starting at zero period is the hardest thing to do. Okay, a couple of other things. So takeaways. I was thinking off the top of my head. Okay, so your team. Let's dive deep on the team. So let's just do another one here. All right. So the team that takes you from 0 to 1 million. Sorry, folks, just had to cough. Team that takes you from 0 to 1 million. then from 1 million plus, I believe in an agency model are different teams. And not necessarily different, hear me out for a second. What you need in 0 to 1 million is you need I think, a blend of a role of visionary and integrator. So I am a visionary. I'm not an integrator, right? I can build a system. I can't follow it every day. I can't manage that system. I have no problem leading the charge on an initiative on a project, like we talked about earlier, the sales process, but then I got to get rid of it, right? I can do that for a month, pound it out, get it down, get most of the kinks ironed out, but then I got to get rid of it. And that's who I am, because I'm purely a visionary, right? I have a little bit of skills, I guess, on the integrator side, but that is not my strength. Management drives me nuts, okay? And I'll be the first to admit it. So in this new business, I had somebody that was a blend of visionary and integrator, and a little more on the integrator side than the visionary, but still had a lot of visionary traits. And folks, that made the scale happen. What do I mean? Folks, I didn't have all day, every day to spend in this business. Right? I have my other businesses. I have my other commitments. I have my service-based business. I have my consulting business. We have our software business, our training business, right? It just wasn't possible. Okay, so without this person being the type of person that they are, we wouldn't have grown like we did. Okay? What would have happened if I had a true integrator here is I would have had to spend a lot more time in the business being the visionary. A lot more time. This is what I have to see, and this is kind of what I think the process should look like, and this is what onboarding should look like. This is how campaign setup should look like. Here's how campaign optimization should look like. Here's what should happen, you know, in terms of optimization checks on Tuesdays this and on Thursdays this, and right, the list goes on and on and on. Instead, I was able to kind of back out a little bit. By all means, I was still very involved. Daily meetings for the first 4 months of the business. Okay, but now as we go from 1 million plus, things have to change. And I don't mean we need to get rid of this visionary integrator person, but this person now moves. Let's do this. Now this person needs to move to a visionary type of role or an innovation type of role in the business. So what happened at month 3 and month 4 is this person started to get really, really bogged down in the management side of the business. And they're okay with it, but they're more on the visionary side, right? Or more doing it themselves, which is great. We need an implementer. That doesn't mean we need to get rid of him, but we need to get him in that innovation role that had us moving so quickly before. Okay, so what had to happen is we had to bring on a new integrator. And that position for us was a COO. Okay, and that was a lot of money. A lot of money. And you're going to need to go from 0 to 1 million before you can afford to bring on a COO. Okay, so what I'd like to do is over the course of the next week or so, I'm going to drip out a couple more videos. Okay, I'm going to drip out a couple more videos, and I'm going to go deep on this stuff. I stayed pretty surface level today, right? We talked about where the heck I've been, this new 7-figure business, what's been going on personally, some high-level takeaways from the business, okay? but I want to deep dive and go deeper on these areas. Okay, so over the next week or so, I'm going to roll out a couple different videos, 3 or 4 videos. We'll have to see how it shakes out, but I want to dive deeper on each of these topics to give you guys some real big takeaways. I gave you guys some high-level ones today, but I want to give you some more tactical takeaways as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys really soon.